it's Jen. I can't believe I have to do this again. I did a book haul, I did my January book haul, and it didn't record. So I have to do it again. So, yeah. Anyway, so this is my January book haul. There's 24 books in this book haul, which is a lot. But I got most of them from the used bookstore, and I had a gift card for Barnes & Noble. So I think I did pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and go through them, and yeah. So the first book I picked up was Long May She Reign by Rhiannon Thomas. And this book is a fantasy, and it's about this girl who is 23rd in line to become queen. And everyone in front of her like gets poisoned and dies, so she becomes queen. And it's kind of about like her figuring out how to do this, but she can't like trust anyone because the poisoner has not been caught, so nobody knows who it was. And it just seems like there's a lot of like court intrigue and politics in it, which I really love. So I'm excited to read this. Next, I picked up The Queen of Tearling by Erica Johansson. And this is the first book in a series. And I know it's a fantasy, and it's about this princess who becomes queen, and there's like, bad stuff going on. I'm not really quite sure what it's about. But I've heard about this book a lot, and I've heard it's good. The whole series, really. So I picked that up. Next, I picked up Everless by Sarah Holland, and I'm not quite sure what this book is about totally. I know I picked it up because it sounded interesting because time is a currency in this book. And I'm not sure how they do that, but it's about this girl and her dad, and they go to this aristocrat's house to be servants. And it sounds like there's like murder in it. I don't know. But it sounded really interesting with the whole time component. So next I picked up Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. And this book I've been wanting to read for a while. It's LGBT. It's about this guy Simon who is not openly gay, and all my books just fell. Anyway, so it's about this boy, Simon, and he's not openly gay, and he has like this, he's like writing emails back and forth with this other kid that he doesn't really know who it is, and then I guess a secret gets out, and it's just all about that. And it sounded really good, and it has really good reviews, so I wanted to check that out. Next, I picked up Scythe by Neal Shusterman, and this book, I don't know if it's really dystopian or not, but I guess it might not be, because so the world like has no hunger, no war, no disease, nothing like that. There's also no death by natural means because like none of that stuff is happening. So they have these people called scythes to pretty much kill you whenever your time's up. I'm not sure how they decide that, but it's about these two teenagers that are apprentices, and it's about them, learning to be scythes, and, even though they don't really want to. I picked up The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon, and this book is about these two kids. The girl is getting ready to be deported, I believe, and she meets this boy, and they have an instant connection and fall in love, and I think they only have like a very short time together. And it's kind of like about the universe, like making them meet and like stuff like that. Next is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alir Sayans. I'm sorry, I'm probably not saying that right. But it's about these two LGBT teens who just kind of live their lives, and it's about their relationship, and it's gotten like a ton of awards, and I've heard so many good things about this. Next, I picked up The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater, and this is the first book in the Raven cycle. And this book is like a paranormal kind of thing. It's about this girl, and I think she's maybe clairvoyant, and there's like a kid from a private school that kind of comes to her and kind of tells her in her mind or something that he's gonna die. But I'm not really sure. I don't really know what it's about. that much. It sounded really interesting. Like, there's definitely paranormal stuff going on. And I have also heard really good things about that. I think all the next books are from my, the used bookstore. I went a couple times this month to the used bookstore, and I think that's what all the next ones are. So next I have A Whole New World, A Twisted Tale by Liz Braswell, and this is a series of books that take the Disney movies and kind of twist them up a little bit. So in this one, it's obviously Aladdin, and I think like Jafar has like it becomes really powerful very quickly, and so Aladdin and Jasmine have to like kind of rally the townspeople to kind of go against him and resist and everything. And I love Aladdin, so I thought this might be fun. Next is Codename Verity by Elizabeth Wein, and this is a historical fiction set during World War II. And it's about a woman pilot, and I think her friend is in the plane as well. Then they're a British spy plane, and they crash land in France, occupied, or Nazi-occupied France, and they become POWs, and it's about, it's just kind of about their struggles with that. Next I have is The Great Escape by Paul Brickhill, and this is a nonfiction book about the American and British Air Force officers that are in a German POW prison camp during World War II, and it's just about how they kind of overcome the odds and actually escape from this camp. Next I have Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. This is the second book in the Throne of Glass series. I have the first book, which I've read a little bit of, but I put it down because I wasn't into it, but I wanted to try picking it back up again and finishing the series, so I wanted to get this, so hopefully I can do that. Just because there's a lot of hype around it, which sometimes I don't think the hype is worth it with some books, but I definitely wanted to just kind of read the whole series and see if the hype was real, pretty much. Next I picked up Edgar Allan Poe, Selected Tales, which I absolutely love Edgar Allan Poe. He's one of my favorite authors and poets, and I used to have like a whole collection, and I don't know what happened to it. So I just picked this up as a temporary fix because I really have been wanting to read some of his stories until I get a better copy of this. Next I picked up Dealing with Dragons, which is book 1 in the Enchanted Forest Chronicles by Patricia C. Reed. And this series, I read a long time ago, and I absolutely loved it. I don't know what happened to those books that I had, but it's about this princess, and she doesn't want to be proper, and I think she kind of like runs away, and she goes and lives with a dragon, and there's like a wizard and a prince, and it's just like, it's nothing with drama, it's just a funny story, and it's just kind of ridiculous, but it doesn't take itself seriously at all, and I just remember really enjoying it when I was younger. Next I picked up Protector of the Small First Test by Tamora Pierce. This is the first book of the Protector of the Small quartet, and this takes place in the Tortall universe, which she writes about all the time. This was actually the third series in that universe, and there's a new book coming out featuring one of her characters like as a prequel to one of the other series that she wrote, but I kind of wanted to read the entire series again. Like, there's 4 quartets in it. No, 3. There's 3 quartets in it. So I wanted to read all of them before this new book came out, but the new book comes out very soon, so I don't know if I'll get to that. But I've been wanting to get this quartet because I don't have any. Next I picked up Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I'm really wanting to read some more classics this year, and I've never read Frankenstein. I've seen the movies and everything, and I've always liked them, but I've just never read the book, so I wanted to read the book. Another classic I picked up was 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne. This one I don't actually know a lot about. I've only seen bits and pieces from like the movies, and I just kind of know references from the book, but I don't really know a lot about it, so I'm excited to read this. Next I picked up Hidden Figures by Margot Lee Shetterly, and this is about the Black women mathematicians who helped win the space race And there's a movie about this, obviously. This is the cover of the movie. But the movie was based on this book, and the author of this book actually knew these women, so it's very much accurate. And I love historical, you know, non-fiction books. So, and I love the movie. This movie was so good. So I definitely wanted to read this. I've been wanting to read that for a long time, actually. Another history book I picked up was The Journals of Lewis and Clark by Lewis and Clark. And this, although this hasn't been one of my favorite times of history to read about, I've always really been interested in like their journals and everything, so I wanted to read that. Next is The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling, and if you believe it, I've never actually read this, even though, you know, I love Harry Potter and J.K. Rowling. You know, I love them. But I've never read this. And I've never watched the movie either, or the miniseries, whatever it was. Really, this isn't the kind of book I would usually pick up, just because it sounds very, like, slow. But, you know, I'll try it. It's J.K. Rowling. It has to be somewhat good, right? Next, I picked up Teller of Hawaiian Tales by Eric Knudsen. And the reason I got this was because I'm really into mythology, and I don't know much about Hawaiian mythology. I did go to Hawaii a very long time ago. I was like 10 maybe. And, sorry, that's my cat making noise. You want to say hi? Say hi. Anyway. So I went to Hawaii when I was like 10, and I really loved it, but I don't think I appreciated the culture as much as I do now. I also really loved Moana, and I wanted to learn more about the Hawaiian and Polynesian mythology. Next I got The Martian by Andy Weir. This movie was so good, and I just wanted to read the book because I'm sure the book is like 10 times better. I'm almost done. This is Tower, An Epic History of the Tower of London by Nigel Jones, and I also went to England and London and the Tower of London when I was in college, and I fell in love with all of it. I'm a huge Anglophile. I love everything British, UK, like England. I just love everything about it. And there's some shit went down in the Tower of London, like, let me tell you, like, the stories that I saw when I visited, like, crazy. So I thought this would be really interesting. The last book in this huge book haul, which took me twice to film, is Pathfinder by Orson Scott Card. This is the first book in the Pathfinder series, and I love Orson Scott Card as an author, and I thought I'd try another one of his series out. This one is a fantasy series as opposed to all his sci-fi series, and it's about this teenager that I think he sees the paths of people's pasts. That is hard to say. Paths of people's pasts. And so it sounds like, you know, he has this ability and he kind of learns how to use it more. And then it says his birthright sets him on a path that leaves him caught between two factions, one that wants him crowned and one that wants him dead. So, I don't know, I thought I'd try another one of his series out. Okay, that was a long video, I think. Sorry about that. That was a lot of books. But as you can see, I have a very wide interest of things. I like all kinds of books. Thanks for watching my January book haul with a huge amount of books, I think. Probably shouldn't have got that many, but oh well, that's what you do when you're a book addict. So thanks for watching. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I got and if you like them or if you didn't like them. No spoilers though, please. No spoilers. So go ahead and like and subscribe if you liked this video, and if you like other bookish videos and Disney and Harry Potter and all kinds of stuff. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.